Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Davis. I'm an actress slash director, entrepreneur, plus more. To check me out on Facebook, Jennifer Davis, Instagram, Jenny underscore D underscore stylist 01. Okay. And see what I got to offer. Thank you. It has been extremely fun for me. I'm addicted.
Oh, that's a strong word. That's a strong word.
I
Okay. Do
I
you,
gotta have
well,
it.
knowing that you have that addiction, do you want to have a star in Hollywood? Is that like one of your goals?
It would be nice. I just want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy my ride. Wherever I'm going, I just want to enjoy it.
Okay. Well, I know you have a family, so what about the fame part of it? If you do get the lottery ticket and it does happen for you, or when, so I say when, do you think you'll be ready for the fame?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not going to happen if I'm not.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that. Give me tell me a couple of great movies that you like. Because I know we talked about series. Give me a couple of great movies. Huh? Other than Precious.
I
Other than
love
Precious. Oh, the notebook. You love the notebook. Okay.
the Notebook. Oh, I grew up. Oh, one of my favorite movies growing up, The Sound of Music.
Oh, you and my sister.
I
What
have
is it
that
about
on.
that movie?
I have it on VHS. I got all. You know it comes for VHS is deep, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I know.
Yes. Yes.
What is it about that movie in Christmas time? And it doesn't. They play that around Christmas time, right? The Sound of Music. What is it
Mhm.
about that movie?
Beat the odds. Happy endings.
Okay. All right.
Lost in a world where you don't fit in, only to find out your true identity is golden.
Okay.
I've kind of always been a part of acting. I guess I've been
Okay.
a character my whole life,
Hmm.
so everyone that knew me growing up knew that I was supposed to been doing this because, that's just who I was. I had a vivid imagination.
Hmm.
Uh, I definitely can help someone with a story in a heartbeat.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's like, I've always wanted to do it. I never knew how to get in.
Mm.
And I just so happened to find out about the background and then, did a little networking during background. And after that, it was like, you know what? I want a speaking role. So
Okay.
who's working on projects and I
Mm.
need a reel, I need a photographer, I needed all these different things. And I found a lot of the people that were actually building their careers in that I was able to get that material from.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
jump right in.
So has it been
Jump
what you
right.
expected? Like, I'm sure you had a different perspective about what was going on when you were a child. You said, "Oh, I might want to do this one day," but has it been what you thought it would be?
A little bit, yes. I would have to say I'm one of those people that when I read into a character, I become a character.
Hmm.
So I can change up the whole demeanor, and then I hold that character like throughout the entire experience.
Hmm.
Like I don't want to know your name if you're billed in the script. You're billed all the time. If I'm your
Right.
love interest, I'm your set love interest.
Right. Right. I got you. I got
Let's
you.
build the chemistry, people. Let's
Hmm.
build chemistry. So it is to a certain extent. I'm not camera shy. However, I don't take pictures like that. I'm not a picture taker. Like a selfie person,
Yeah. Yeah.
things like that. I never really been into that, but to perform, the drop of a dime.
So you're saying you were kind of like just born that way? Because it took me a while to get comfortable to be on camera.
No, no, no. Life experiences growing up. My imagination was my escape
Mm.
from a lot of different things. So pretending to be somewhere else or to be someone else was, my coping mechanism.
Right. Right.
And I found that I like the fact that I can be whoever I want to be.
Mm. Well, who do you prefer to be? Do you prefer to be I don't know, an action hero or comedy? What do you prefer to do?
Oh, I love comedy. Comedy is, I make comedy out of everyday life experience. So I'm that person. I'm actually working with a gentleman, BLT, a comedian named BLT. Right now, he's working on a series that we're working on right now called Seasoned, and he also does comedy shows every week. And I'm kind of looking into trying to expose some of my material because he feels as though I'm funny. So I say, well, we can try to work on something.
Yeah. Well, how do you create your material? Like, what inspires you when you're writing?
Just life experiences, being the favorite auntie that doesn't like to keep all of her nieces and nephews,
right.
To the mom everybody wants, to be their mom except for their own kids, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the stuff that everybody goes through. It's everyday life experiences, and I just find ways to take those, and I think from a different spectrum. So I come from the other side with things. They're like, what made you even think of that? Where does that come from?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you taking acting classes, or have you taken them?
I have been exposed to some acting classes. Actually, I do pretty well. I'm really good at improv. Improv has been a major piece for me, but I have a vivid memory as well. So I'm very good at memorizing lines. So that worked out in my favor. I read a lot.
Yeah, well, did the classes that you took, or the things that you were exposed to, did they help you at all?
I kind of led it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I find those things, they're pretty fun to me. So it wasn't as much, I didn't have to put as much effort into it because it was natural.
Right.
So,
do you recommend it though? Like if I'm a new person, like, do you recommend that I take classes?
A new person that is not yet completely comfortable with being in front of the camera, I would say yes, definitely. Because the first thing you need before hopping on the camera is your confidence in that character. Argue that character when you hop on that screen. Can you take that in the back of your mind and be like, I don't know who Jennifer is. Right. My name is Janet.
Yeah.
And so to practice, I would say definitely either do the classes or record yourself, because you are your biggest critic. You get to say if you've completely mastered that character.
That's right. Just by some of the links that I looked at, I know you're kind of doing stuff with people who are, I'm guessing that HFD is local, right?
Yes.
So, but are you also doing stuff? Are you taping stuff and sending stuff in? Are you auditioning for like bigger projects?
Yes. Right now I am. So far, I'm actually, I've auditioned for the Steve Harvey's new court show, just to kind of because he is funny. He's a very comedic person. And so I kind of, I went through some of my life experiences, talked to a friend of mine that has gone through some things with me. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it. Yeah. We can do it.
Okay.
And I'm like, perfect. We got it. Put together the story. We got the call back, and we went and did the application and everything. So now we're just waiting for our actual show date. And this will be, I would say, my first time actually speaking on an episode with another celebrity.
Okay.
I've been in scenes with celebrities, but to actually go and have a conversation with the celebrities, this will be my first screening of a conversation with the celeb, which is a big thing for me. This is pretty big because now I actually get to show my acting skills and my character, on the show, and kind of bring out a little bit of Jenny D, because that's pretty much on set. I don't know why they just kind of branded me as Jenny.
Of course, absolutely, yeah.
I'm really interested.
No, say it again. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Say it again.
I said, no, I'm really interested in the writing and directing portion. So I'm always like studying people when I'm on the set. Yeah. So those are really good avenues I want to take.
Well, how much time out of your day or during the week do you set aside time to write?
Oh, I'm writing all the time. So I keep a pen and pad in my purse at all times. It's in my car. I have one in my glove compartment. I keep one next to my bed, because you never know when those thoughts come. You have to immediately jot them down. If you don't jot them down, I hit the record button on my cell phone, and I'm just, speaking into it and just making sure that I keep those things, because that's pretty much the material that I start picking up for
Yeah.
BLT for possibly,
Yeah. Oh,
debut
absolutely.
one.
Hmm. Well, screenwriting is
Yes.
a particular skill set. Like, how are you self-taught? Are you teaching yourself as you go along? Are you getting some feedback from other
Actually,
people?
a lot of feedback. Feedback is everything. You have to crawl before you walk. So you must be able to study someone that has already mastered it in order to begin to learn that skill set. So in HFD films, I not only work with them, but I'm behind the scenes as well. So I'm in front of the camera for them, but I'm also behind the scenes. So I'm do camera work. I ended up purchasing my own camera so I can start doing things of my own as well. So I've been working on a couple of things. I'm now getting ready to set up a YouTube channel. The Bipolar Mother of Three,
Okay.
which I think is
welcome to the club.
the club. Yes, this is what we deal with. Having three very intelligent children, gifted children. The conversations are very, very out of the box.
Of course. Of course.
Some of the things we talk about are very out of the box. And if you get a chance to see my documentary, I like to do interview sessions and stuff like that. Not only with my family, but friends as well, because it helps me to identify the person that I am, how I'm being, not what I perceive, how they perceive me to be. And that means a lot to me when it comes to the people that I care about,
Yeah.
because I want to make sure that they know that they can always come to me, that I'm always going to be honest with them, and that no matter what happens, we can always come back. We can always come back to each other.
That's right. Well, speaking of your documentary, I was able to watch the actual trailer on YouTube. I live out of the country, so I don't get Tubi. So I couldn't watch the whole thing, but I did watch the trailer. And you seem like you are really being vulnerable and like letting it all air out in that documentary. Is that right?
Yeah, actually I was. I believe that in order for me to be able to grow, I had to be able to face and identify a lot of the things that I feel may have been a stronghold on me in my life. So identifying yourself and knowing who you are, and it also helps you to identify what you want to change about yourself.
That's right.
And I began to study the people that raised me and the things that I picked up along the way. And if there was anything that I may have picked up along the way from people that may have hurt me, it was like, you know what? I don't want to be that. And if this is a reflection of that, I got to do something different. So then I got the book. How do you change that? What are you doing? The meditation portions, the therapy, the counseling. I had to read a lot of books. I read a lot of books, understanding different mindsets. I did a lot of psychology in college. That was one of my majors, was psychology, because the mindset of a person is phenomenal. It's so many different ways you can go with that. Never know what a person has gone through and what could have triggered a person. And I like to be aware of that.
Yeah. But what day or what moment in time did you say I need to document all of this stuff? I need to put it on film.
There has been a lot of suicide in my family. A lot of suicide and a lot of suicidal attempts. So there's a big need for healing. And I noticed that from generation to generation, it was something that was passed along, and it was a cycle that needed to be broken.
Okay.
So I wanted it to be exposed. I needed it to be exposed. It wasn't that I wanted it and just wanted it. I needed it to be exposed because my family is not going to, my children are not going to take this with them.
Right.
That's where I come in for guidance. And when I began to see the cycle continuing as far as the type of relationships I got into and remembering how I was affected from those situations, I started to notice my daughter being affected in that same manner. And it was just like looking myself in the mirror all over again.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah. What kind of feedback did you get after, I'm sure people in your close circle have watched it, what kind of feedback have you been able to get?
My family
Mhm.
is definitely on board. They do believe that, it starts here, it starts now. I have some family that may have started that journey on their own, but for those that have not started it, they needed a leader. They needed someone to take that first step,
Yeah.
and with me being in the center of it and always being so outspoken and, driven, and possibly even a diva, because I was always that person to say, hey, look, I am here. You
Yeah.
see me,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
hey, I
Of
got something to
course.
say.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, the cards that we were dealt.
Yeah. The cards we were dealt. Did it turn out the way you wanted it to turn out? Like from paper to actually filming and editing?
The messages that I was anticipating on exposing, yes, I feel as though they were met. They were
Okay.
met. Um, I definitely would love to do it again. I have a lot more. Once you put it together, you can see so much more that you would just like, oh, I would add this, I would
Yeah,
put
well,
that.
but that was gonna be my next question. What would you do differently?
Let's see. My first thing that I would do different after actually watching it, I probably would have had more than one camera.
Okay. Okay.
That would have
That
been
helps. That helps.
awesome. Yeah, but like I said, this was my first baby. And it was very important for me to get this out.
Yeah. Were you nervous at all or scared of, I don't want to say of doing it because you don't seem like that kind of person, but did you have any kind of anxiety?
Um, I spoke with everyone that I spoke about in the documentary. I've spoken to them prior to. I did get the blessing of the people that were involved during that time, as well as, my mom, my aunts, my dad, um, the children, which were a part of it, even their fathers,
Mhm.
because those experiences also had an effect of the cycle for me.
That's right.
And I don't blame them, because I know that we were hurt people that were attracted to that hurt,
Hmm.
so I don't. They are very good men, and they
Yeah.
take care of their children.
Yeah.
And so we still speak with one another. We still co-parent very well, but I am on a journey of self-healing. You know,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
am on a journey to become whole within myself.
Right.
And they seem to understand that, and they support it. So that's a
Okay.
good thing. My whole family supports that.
Of course. Of course. Now, how different was making the documentary compared to like being in some of the other feature stuff that you did with HFD?
Oh, well, it was definitely a lot more difficult because I was not in character. I was me. you know,
Mm.
it wasn't what everyone else sees. Everyone
Yeah.
is like, "Oh, you're so awesome. You're so amazing.
Hmm.
I just want to be around you." And I'm like, "Ugh, if you
Yeah.
only knew how you able to
Right.
smile all the time, because I have been through hell."
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely. Mm.
so I see sun, and I'm just happy to see the sun shining right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Hmm. Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
And when you can see the blessing and coming out of things like that, it makes a big difference as to where you're going.
Yeah.
So I began to learn how to change the mindset. My next one, which you will see, I have a part 2 coming up, where I've been video documenting, video journaling, um, my journey. So things that I've done, books that I've read, things that I picked up, stuff that I've practiced. Um, I'm taking people with me.
Yeah.
I have family coming up here that is willing to come back, and the things that we're working on, we're still communicating with each other, and we're trying to work through it together.
Okay.
I'm not going to leave them alone. I started this with us. I'm not going to leave them alone in it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And a couple of the family members are like, look, you do the second one. We doing this with you. So look, I'm coming. We're going to let
Mm.
people know that you can make it through this. You can break a chain.
That's right. That's right. What are your goals? Like, what are your long-term goals? Because I know you do multiple things, so I can't just say, well, what do you want to accomplish as an actor? But what do you want to accomplish overall with all the things that you're doing?
Really, I would definitely love to be able to accomplish, like I said, the director's position, um, and do some writing of my own. I really like the producing and directing aspect of it, and possibly making that my career wholeheartedly because I enjoy it and I love it.
Mm.
You know, it's not work for me. Um, that is really my goal. If I could stop everything else and just do that, I'll be good.
Well, let me say this. I admire you because you're doing a lot of stuff independently, right? Like a lot of people I interview, no knock on them, but most people are waiting on the Hollywood, I guess,
Entry.
yeah, entry or what was
Invite.
it? Yeah, invite, yeah, limousine is what I was looking for, but they're looking for that Hollywood limousine to come pick them up. But I admire people who do their own thing. And so I guess my question would be is, are you doing this intentionally or just like, oh, okay, well, I don't have anything coming yet, so let me practice and, elevate my skill independently?
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, I want to elevate myself independently, but in doing so, I want I want to begin to let my name ring out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of what I'm doing, not because I'm waiting for someone to do it, but because
Right.
I actually took the first step to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And to hear some of the comments from people now that I've received from people that I barely even know that have watched it, and they're like, "I'm such a fan of your work," and I'm like, "My work, really?" It's just
Yeah.
just doing a little
Yeah.
something here and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's awesome, and it keeps me going. It gives me something to want. It makes me want to do more.
Yeah. What is the energy like for you on set? Not the documentary, but the other things that you've done. What was the energy like for you? Because I know you're such a well, but that's you. What I'm saying is, what about everybody else on the set? Do they feed off you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's the purpose of my high energy, because anything that comes around me, I want them to have the same vibration. We need to have that same energy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
High vibrations for me brings success. It brings happiness for me, because if you can smile throughout the day and you can go to bed smiling, that's a beautiful day,
That's right.
and that all comes with keeping your vibrations up
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah. Well, do you like to practice with with the people are going to be on camera with? Do you feel like you need
Oh,
that
yeah.
before? Okay.
I feel like it is needed to do it, but not necessary. It's not necessary. If everyone is a natural like that, it's no need. You can do your lines, I can do my lines, and we can come together and make it work if we have that chemistry. So, like I said, I like staying in character when I'm on the set, because when I'm on character, that chemistry makes it easier for us to flow with the dialogue.
Okay.
For people that I've never worked with before, I definitely would like to have like a meet and greet, and a table read, and possibly a couple of rehearsals prior to.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are there characters that you decided in your mind you won't play? Or are you open to everything?
I'm pretty much open to everything because I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, going through the psychology of it, I'm the type of person, I connect so deeply to the point where I literally see myself, even when watching films, I see myself being those people, trying to embody the emotion, about trying to embody, the experience, or can see myself going through those experiences. I've dealt with a lot, from everything from corporate, rivals
Mm-hmm.
to, street rivals. I am very, I guess, I've been very much so exposed to all areas.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. 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 Well,
Yeah. You're dealing with a person that's been some of everything.
but I think for me though, there are certain roles that I know I wouldn't play, or probably just wouldn't even do justice to. Right? Like it's not so much about not playing, but I know that I probably, like, for someone who would be in a wheelchair, I probably wouldn't play that because I don't think that I would have enough range to give that character justice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're saying. Let's see. I probably would not want to be No, I would want to be a psychopath. I would definitely want to be a psychopath.
Well, okay. Well, let me be a little bit more. How about this? What about 12 Years a Slave? Would you be in a movie like that?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I love history. History helps to make you stronger too. Knowing where you come from will strengthen you to where you've been because our ancestors were extremely strong.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And today, the new generation will never really understand what that even consists of.
That's a great
It's so
perspective.
everything is accepted right now.
Yeah, that's a great perspective.
Yeah.
I know I couldn't do it though, but that's a great perspective. A great perspective. Yeah. What kind of movies do you enjoy watching?
Yeah. And I love watching comedies. I do like to watch like I said, history movies. So like 7 Years a Slave,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
the Harriet Tubman movie that came out. I really like that one. Then they had the Billie Holidays and things like that. Carmen, stuff like that was awesome for me. Growing up as a kid, I would say television shows that I would watch that brought in Black excellence for me on the corporate side of things
Mm.
were like the Cosby Show. I would have to say 227 was awesome for me, in a sense, that was really, really cool for me. I definitely like Family Matters,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, where you had hardworking families that worked together.
Yeah, but we don't have those kind of shows anymore.
We don't. And I just want to be involved in a lot of that. A lot of that. I would do the other ones,
Mm-hmm.
but for like if you had to put a dollar amount on them, I would do them. But to do a Black excellence film, you wouldn't have to put a dollar amount on there for me. I would volunteer.
I see. I see. Well, if you know, have you pondered or wondered why we don't have any more of those, like the Cosby Show, and I wouldn't put Martin in the same category, but
No, no,
family
no.
family matters and two because I forgot all about 227. But if you know,
Yeah, yeah.
is there a reason why we don't have those anymore?
The family dynamic is no longer in that um, area, at least in a lot of the areas that we used to watch them in. I
Mm-hmm.
know, like, I live in Inglewood,
You
in the
used to
heart of
live in Inglewood,
Inglewood.
or you live in Inglewood now?
No, no, no. I used to live in Inglewood.
Okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
I grew up, was born and raised in Inglewood,
Okay,
63rd and Carpenter,
okay.
and it was it was pretty rough. So that was one of our escapes. That was one of those places where you were like, oh, but we may not be like that here. But if you go across town, they live
Mm-hmm.
like this all the time, and I'm eventually gonna be there, and I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
be this. It gave us hope. Um, and the reality began to set in to a lot of people that may not necessarily be the case for you. Everyone doesn't have that tomorrow. So it was a
Yeah.
lot more people giving up at that point.
So you're
I
saying
definitely saw
that
a lot of people.
if I'm hearing you correctly, that television is a reflection of reality, and that wasn't our reality, and that is not our reality. So that's why they don't necessarily make those shows anymore.
And that's why we focus on reality shows with a whole bunch of drama. And because every time you turn around, you looking for that. That's what draws people's attention now. It's not the person doing right no more. It's the person out here, that's scheming, scamming, and being crooked.
That's right. That's right. We're,
That's what we're idolizing now because being good didn't get us too far there.
but that's the truth, though. I believe that that's the truth. Where are you on, like, P Valley and Empire? Is it Empire? Yeah, Empire and P Valley. Where are you on those shows? Those kind of shows.
Empire, I was on all of season 6, so I was pretty much a regular there. So even with the kids,
Mm.
at the kids in their school, they would recognize me from like certain episodes because that was a family show that they were watching,
Okay.
and they were like, it was like a Where's Waldo? Oh, I see you,
Mm.
you Liam, you're so famous, and I'm like, I'm not really,
Yeah.
but okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I began to, I was volunteered a lot at the school during the time. So it made it easier for them to gravitate to me. So now I'm doing stuff with the kids, you know. I want to encourage them in their entrepreneurship, encouraging them to be themselves, you know, encouraging them to step out of their comfort zones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I started up, well, before the pandemic, I started up a program with CPS called Raising Entrepreneurs. Okay. So yeah, I started that, and like I said, the filming that I'm doing now, and the bipolar mother of three, those are some of the things that I want to incorporate, talking to the parents and being able to communicate and building that community connection again. I really feel like that's needed right now. And then we can get back into our family matters and our Cosby shows and stuff like that, because now we actually have an example in our own communities.
I think it's going to be tough to bring those shows back, because I'm on board with what you're saying. Like, that's not necessarily what we believe our reality is anymore. So I don't think those things are that's going to be tough.
It's like right now you have, like, you know, Modern Family,
right?
The show Modern Family, Malcolm in the Middle, things like that. We just have to change the culture. I mean, I think it can be done again. We just have to take it from a different aspect, not an empire aspect where it's, you know, underhand, or power that's underhanded that wants us to be that way, but, you know, from a more positive standpoint.